we're out here on the water, just got here, and we're going to see if we can get after it, put the old jerk bait to work. We'll see if we can, catch them on the jerk bait, maybe a few other baits today. There's a little bit of wind. Hopefully it's not too noisy for you guys. Let's see what we can learn. Let's get after it. Come on. All right, there, guys. We just hooked into a fish. It's taken a little bit. We just hooked into one of them. Okay, there we go. Ooh. A skinny looking sick fish. Ooh. Guess we can't all be beautiful, but this right here, again, this isn't the best specimen to show you for it, but this fish has been caught before. If you have a look at this, you see, look at this side of the cheek and look at that side. That fish has been caught before, but often they're healthy and they look great. Unfortunately, this one doesn't as much, but this is the power of putting them back. Here I am catching it again, enjoying it again. Put it back. Ooh, something just came up. I'm guessing a loon or something. It's yep, right there, a loon. I don't know if you can hear it. Let's see if we can get you to see it. Let's see, right there. Okay, right there. That's about 20 feet from the boat right there. Kind of neat. Kind of neat to get to see. It's amazing the wildlife out here. Let's see if that camera's recentered again. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Right about there. Let's see here. Maybe we'll just adjust it a little bit. Let's see there. I think that should do. Alright, guys, so that was fun fishing on the Rerange jerkbait. And now we'll see if we can get a couple more here in the boat. Got a sparrow hawk flying up above us right now. Just neat to see the wildlife and be outdoors. guys. He just came off. Wow, all right. That one outsmarted us right there. Didn't feel like a real big one, but lost that one. Tell you what, having really good hooks on your jerkbait is probably one of the most critical things I can think of to landing more fish with a jerkbait. You will lose some occasionally, and I do have good hooks on this one. I've swapped them out for the Aaron Martin's finesse treble hook. They are absolutely terrific, just needle point sharp. And every once in a while, they will go dull still, so it's worth, checking them. And if they get dull, just replace them. I guess you could sharpen them too if you want. Every once in a while, I'll do that. But most of the time on these ones, I'll just replace them. But that has to be hands down the most critical thing in fishing a jerkbait and landing fish. Actually, getting those fish to the boat is having just excellent hooks. All right, guys, we just picked up one more. Let's see if we can get this one in the boat for you. It's like a little better. There we go. Okay. A little healthier looking fish. Back in the water. Let's see if we can pick up another one. What's going on is it's definitely pre-spawn. We're close to a full moon, and the water temperature, we're looking at 65.5 degrees, so it's warming up quite a lot. They're not ready to spawn, but from what I'm gathering, they're thinking about it. We're fishing kind of a break line right here, and we've picked up a couple fish. We haven't found the mother lode yet, but keep working on it, and let's see if we can catch a few more. Alright, guys. There we go, one more. Alright, well, we did pick up one more here. It seems we haven't been able to find a group of them, but it just seems like we're just picking up one here or there. It makes sense where they are, but we haven't picked up a whole group of them. This is just a small little pocket where they would go to spawn, and there's deep water right next to the shallow water. I'm feeling this pocket is a terrific spawning pocket. So it makes sense why they're here, but I don't know why I haven't been able to find a group of them yet. But we're going to keep working at it, and let's see what we can do together. One thing I often do, especially with light wire hooks like this and a jerkbait, but I do it with other baits as well, I will set my drag a little stiffer once I set the hook on them, I'll loosen the drag up a little bit. Sometimes they'll make a good run, and you want that drag loose enough that they can do that and not, you know, obviously not break the line. But I start with it a little tighter just to be able to set the hook. Sometimes if you don't, you go to swing on them and it's just nothing but drag and you don't get a good hook set in. This spot is just again, it's a little different than the surrounding shoreline. There's a little rock right here, and so again, I'm gonna keep working it a little bit. It feels like somewhere we should be able to find a bit of a school of them, and this feels like a good spot for it. If they're not there, they're just not there. But it's a good thing to pay attention to. You've got kind of just muddy, weedy shoreline, rock, and then it goes back to muddy, weedy shoreline. So it's just something different to pay attention to. They tend to congregate on spots that are just a little different than the rest of the shoreline. Okay, guys, just wanted to let you know what what we found. We have found fish in probably, I don't know, probably that 7-8 feet of water all the way up to about 5 feet of water. We have not found a big group of them, but we found them pretty consistently throughout the lake in spots that you'd suspect in pre-spawn, somewhere on that break line. It seems like most of them have been sort of on the deeper part of that break line. They haven't been really shallow yet. It surprises me a little bit, just considering the moon phase and the water temperature that we've got. But we're working to put things together. I can't say that I've got it all figured out yet, but we're going to keep working at it. I've got a friend coming with me, so we probably won't be doing much filming after this. If I do learn something else other than just that they're in these break lines, going into pre-spawn and headed towards those spawning pockets, if we learn something else and we really put something together, I'll do a recap with you guys and let you in on what we've discovered, what we've learned together. And but other than that, I guess that's kind of the cap of this movie. It's been terrific fishing with you, terrific taking you along, and fun catching a few fish with you. The baits that I've caught them on, geez, I had one on a creature bait, and then the rest have all been on that Rerange, the Jackall Rerange jerkbait. So that's really the player today. We'll see if we can put something else together, but again, terrific getting to fish with you guys, and take care. All right, here, let's get that. Hey guys, quick update. We didn't get it on video, but I wanted to quickly share it with you and get it right back in the water. But this is just a beautiful fish, 7.65 on the scale, on a digital scale. And oh, look at the belly, fat, beautiful pre-spawn fish. And we caught her on the tactical deep diving crankbait right here. I have been trying to get a fish on this bait for a little while and just couldn't get it done, but today we did, and that's the first fish I caught on it. So yeah, I'd say it works. I'd say that works right there, but we're gonna put her back in the water and let her go so someone else can catch her. Take care, guys. Okay. she goes.
Boy.
Wow, guys, what an awesome day on the water. We bounced around. We struggled a little bit in the beginning. We caught fish in places that made sense, but we didn't find many places that we caught just piles and piles of fish. But we kept putting a pattern together as the day progressed. But then just the awesome part of the day, I caught my personal best, my PB, and so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what happened there. And like I go on to tell you, I put the camera away. I was fishing with a buddy, and so it wasn't the time to film. But boy, when I caught that fish, I did pull the camera out. So you're going to see a little short clip of that fish. But I figured I'd just tell you now a little bit about what was going on, how we caught it. We did find a spot that was going into a spawning. It was a spawning bay, and it was basically a corner of the lake. It was a point, but a little bit more like a corner. It was a small bay on one side, small bay on the other, and the point was rocky and dropped off to about 16 feet of water, and then it was just muddy and very low growth weeds on the bottom. And off that point there was a rock pile, not a giant rock pile, but just rock bottom is maybe the better way to say that. But it was a rock bottom. Everywhere else was muddy. The rock pile was probably, I don't know, maybe the size of a boat, a bass boat. If you were to just spread that out. And so what I was doing, I've got the exact rod and reel that I caught it on. I was cranking, actually. This is the Tactical DD Crankbait. It's their crankbait. I enjoy watching Tactical Bassin, and those guys are fantastic. If you want to learn something, definitely watch their channel. They have got so much knowledge. Those guys fish a lot, and they are excellent. And they produced a winter crankbait, and it's meant to fish in cold water and fish very, very fast. And so I had purchased a couple of these, and I was actually struggling to catch a lot of fish on them. But then seeing the personal best, the fish weighed out at a 7.76. You're going to see me, I was a little excited. You're going to see me get the numbers wrong on the video when you see that fish, but it was 7.76. And boy, was I excited. So I was fishing this, and I had two rods rigged up identically. This is the Bantam XG, so I've got it on an 8-to-1 reel, moving it very, very fast. And then I've got it on the a glass rod. It's a KVD. It's the 7.4 medium heavy, and I like this rod a lot for it. It's got some backbone to it, but it's also got a ton of tip action. And so you can really play those fish. So I like it a lot. And at 7/4, you can cast the bait pretty far, but you're not casting a rod that's 7-11. It's just enormous. So I like it a lot for this bait. And you've got enough power to set the hooks, but enough tip to play those fish. And so I had two rods rigged up identical, one on 12-pound fluorocarbon braid to leader, and then one on 17-pound fluorocarbon. The reason I do that is just to get different running depths. So I was using the 12-pound line first and just kept pounding the bottom. And you want this bait to tick the bottom, but not just pound it. And so you want to burn the Tactical Bassin. If you want to, really learn how to use this bait, watch their channel. But basically, burn, stop it. Burn, stop it. And it's a stop and go, and they just react to it. And this was a pre-spawn. The water was 56 degrees, so still mildly cold. And I was moving that bait, and I kept ticking the rocks. And this one actually hit, and this happens a lot, so pay attention to this. But as you're reeling along, you're ticking the bottom, stop and go, and then you go to pull that bait up. It's pretty deep now. It's 16 feet, 17 feet deep. And you pull it up, and I usually pull it just a little way and let it stop, because again, that's the same idea of it bouncing and deflecting off a cover. That's a radical change. It was going like this, and all of a sudden it pulls up and just stops. It's a radical change. So if that fish is following it and it makes a radical change, it wants to lash out and get it, and just stops. It wants to lash out and get it. So I was reeling it, came close to the boat. I started to pull it up and just stopped and clobbered that bait, absolutely clobbered it. So was able to get that fish, and boy, am I delighted. So boy, get yourself a few of these crankbaits. They do work. It is terrific. I'm delighted to get to share a little bit about that fish with you and some pictures with you. Sorry I didn't get the whole thing on video, but that wasn't, you know, I wasn't planning to catch a fish that big. I certainly hoped to, but I wasn't, you know, exactly planning for it. Terrific to get to celebrate this with you guys. We'll keep learning together. Thank you so much.